Why? Just because I'm a woman? Honey, it's your loss. I take back what I said. Let's just forget that ever happened, so we can at least do... All right.
Lol. Lol, 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 lol.
Tantalus, cannot catch the...
Okay, let's... I wanna be better at finding my way through here. That let down, so we didn't need that. I can walk past the hut. Okay, okay. Wait, but wouldn't that mean last time when I made my way through here, I've already arrived at the stairs? Because I wouldn't have been able to go through here without coming from up here. Well, now I've just confused myself more. Couldn't catch the culprit.
Help! You... Thank you. I have to... What? Why?
I have a bad feeling. No, just trust me.
All right, fine. Come and find me my bakery instead. Please be careful.
Hey, I saved her. Achievement gained. Next I need to save someone named Lulia's life. Because that guy will just fucking kill me. Locked. Shopping list, I imagine that's not... I think it's Decius plans to buy once he's escaped. 12 slave girls. Charming. Simply charming. Oh my god, everything just keeps going. Hang on, I want to know if I die if I get in here though. Do I just... Yes. I needed to check. That was funny to me. I needed to check. Well, cool. Let's not step in there more. What the hell happened there? Something happened. Oh, why is... Okay, let's not press that button again, hopefully.
Shh, I'm hiding. Did you stop him?
No.
What are you waiting for?
I don't have a weapon, I don't have anything. I'll have to just take these. Cool. I do like bread.
Shh, I'm hiding.
Some simple bread. If anyone would like to use that recipe, feel free.
Salve.
Did that statue just move, or am I crazy? It'd be hilarious if they had the Skyrim glitch, or the statues. Well, in Skyrim was the mannequins, but in here it'll be those golden statues. They accidentally become people. Noticing that a virtual a sinner. Virtual, I know who you are. What do you want? Turn away from the patch before we shall all suffer for your sins. Which of you is virtual? Hello, Virtual. These guys are also the slowest way
new
of turning
face.
around.
Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
I see.
And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagus, you expect a bit of hostility.
But the Magister
Batavi are
explicitly
not known
states
for
that
their
this was
tolerance.
so welcome.
I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi. Nice of you to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong. It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
There are cultists?
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that he considers my
Christians.
nature as sin.
Great.
Can you believe that?
The
If
fish
there are
people.
any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year.
I found their shrine.
And went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating,
I hope
my
the
secret
the,
admirer
the,
is
the guy
going to
doing the
cross
sin
line
isn't
and
just
breaks
doing
the
it
golden
because he's a Christian. That'd be a bit, yeah.
What? Really? I didn't expect that. But thanks. It's always a pleasure to meet someone so selfless. I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around among the merchants here. Someone who lives or works in the forum must have seen something. But if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're just confused. Come back and let me know what you find.
Can I ask him
Any-
other things?
Oh, that's... Some people say it's divine, the work of a god. But I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me. Like it's distinctly human. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called god doesn't seem to care. Which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown god doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you? Good. Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power. And it seems
Well, the thing is,
may not be
the
an
rule
option.
is the rule, regardless or not who's in power.
Good question. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought. Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision. My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking.
Alright, what's your story?
Well,
about?
I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people. That kind of thing.
Well, it's a very
But
specific one you should
probably don't
really
want
have
to
a look
hear
at.
about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place.
Yeah, no, go on.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines, they're constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all. It's Greek. Well, yes, that could be the reason. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question, who really built this place? And could it be far older than any of us imagine? If only there was a way we could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell. Gladly. Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city.
If they ever break down, everyone here would die of thirst, wouldn't they?
It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas. And the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake and allows us to fish and farm. Hey, not so loud. Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it. You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually, that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears
Obelisk,
some
that's
barbarian
very
defaced it. And of
Egyptian.
course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the Golden Rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose
We found
we'll
Egyptian
never know.
things as well.
Of course. Nice to talk to you.
I think it might be an Egyptian god. Oh yeah, he looks so busy, dude. Look at how
Hey,
busy.
Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Dacius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
Can you make a bow? There is a guy here that's trying to kill us.
Any new... Oh, that... Nice
No.
to...
Can't ask him for a bow ourselves.
Wonder how much one of these statues. Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius. You mean how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
We've got our 6 minutes to fill, let's go.
Alright. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures,
He's a
vases, the
cat
occasional
burglar.
slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, hoping to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin. So I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
You chose the cart.
Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess you realise what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber. Naturally, I dived in after it, hoping to salvage my fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Alright, Judas.
Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune, because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just...
Yeah, the
figure
getting
out how
out's
to
the
get it
problem,
out.
innit? You're a little stuck. You could have all the money in the world. And then we build a prison out of all of that. And we put all the billionaires in. And then they have all the money in the world. And we outside, we live in a moneyless society. Which I'm sure will go great. But inside, they'll be super happy because finally they cannot make more money. They already have all of it. And they'll be locked in there for eternity.
It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk. Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet. Thank you, friend. I don't, I'm afraid, but I did overhear Fabia telling Georgius she saw something. Malleolus. I mean, Centius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us? Not going to happen. Very well, another time.
Isn't she still... I can't talk to her yet. Great. So one thing leads into the other. And I don't know how to do the one thing.
Welcome to my humble store. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail? And now you have me more intrigued than before. But since it appears you do not wish to share, I will wait until we are better friends. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
Yes, what's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
How'd you end up here?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself. I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa. Of course. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.